Hi there. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Visual Composer plugin in WordPress. So go to your plugins page, and if you have downloaded Visual Composer from Code Canyon or their official website, then you can install that plugin from plugins page. Okay, you just have to click on Add New and then locate your plugin path and upload it here. Okay, now it will appear as WP Bakery Visual Composer. Click on Activate Link. Okay, this should take you to plugin activated message at the top, and then you can go to that plugin settings. Okay, it will show you this welcome message. Welcome to Visual Composer, then version number. Your version number may differ if you're watching this video in few months after this video. However, some of the settings and some of the roles and functionality remains the same. Okay, so this is the welcome page. On about link, go to the general settings link here in Visual Composer tab. Okay, here you see the tab general settings shows disable responsive content elements. You can disable and enable. By default it is enabled. You also have Google font options, so you can choose from Latin, Cyrillic, Greek and Vietnamese. Now there is one more tab, Role Manager. So let's take a look at that. Here you see what options are available to administrator and what to editor, author and contributor. So by default all options are enabled for administrator. So if anyone is accessing Visual Composer within their editor of page, or let's say for post, then by default administrator have all the roles. If you're just author, then you don't have much option, or you can set more options for author as well. Okay, again all these role manager settings depend on your organization or within hierarchy of your blog management. Let's take a look at design options. Okay, so here you see custom design options. You can click on enable, then you have all the color related options. Also you can specify grid width and mobile screen width. You can save the changes by clicking on save. Okay, it will take some time depending on your connection. Then it will show this message, design options saved. Now take a look at custom CSS, which will be created once you enable design options. The more options that you add in design options tab, custom CSS will have it reflected along with the code that you paste here. So that entire file gets executed when you run Visual Composer on any specific page. Then you have product license and shortcode mapper. You can ignore that for now. And now we will go to all pages and we will create one sample page. Okay, so let's go ahead and create one page name level 3. You can also have that option edit with Visual Composer. By default you will have Visual Composer here on editor. Okay, so you have backend editor and front-end editor. Okay, you can click on both of them and check out how it looks. Okay, so here's your front-end editor, and here you can add the elements on that specific page. Okay, so if you want to add element, at the top you will find plus button. Click on it and you have plenty of elements to add in here. You can simply go with, let's say we want to add one go button, so let's add that. Okay, then we will have settings for button. So text on button, let's use something like Visual Composer on. Okay, so you can have URL, so when we click on that button it will redirect you to some place. You can have style as modern, classic, flat, outline, 3D, custom, and outline custom. So I'm going to set flat. Okay, now next thing, I'm going to make it square, then make it of flat color. Okay, then size of it as normal, alignment center, full width button to no, add icon, yes, icon left, then we can use font awesome, then icon, let's choose, okay, can have anchor, okay, then CSS animation, you can have right to left or left to right or bottom to top or top to bottom. Okay, then save the changes. Okay, so your button element is added. So here is your page and here is your button. So when you are in front-end editor mode, it won't let you immediately view that, so you have to come out of that front-end mode to check how it looks. However, if you just look at it, you have your flat button added on page. Okay, then this Visual Composer also lets you edit specific element within your theme as well, or you can simply drop the element and have the replacement on any specific point, supported by your theme, of course. So if you want to add button here, then you have to add that particular row like this. Okay, and you can make that okay, so I'm gonna just put it up here. Okay, so as you can see, these are 4 rows here, and I want to put it at the top. Then I can set the alignment to left or right. Okay, so this kind of placement can be useful when you are doing landing pages or opt-in pages. Okay, you can also set specific template name to the page that we just created. You can choose from default templates. Okay, you have that plenty of options here. Okay, after that, one more thing to show you is that some of the elements from official WordPress can be used as well. Then you have structures such as widget sidebar, you can have that. You can also have raw HTML and JS. Then social elements such as likes, buttons of different social media channels. Then for content you have this. Okay, so if you click on all, it will display all, but with specific tab you can see that it has relevant options for you to add. Okay, there is also deprecated tab. That means these widgets are no longer supported, but you can still use them. Again, most likely it will be removed in future versions, so you have to avoid using these elements if you are designing for long-term website. Okay, then one more option here you have page settings. So any custom CSS that you add for your page can be added here, and then save the changes. Okay, then you have display for your page. Here I see desktop or laptop, and you have tablet. Okay, so this is the tablet view. Then you have vertical tablet. You can also say horizontal mode. Then even smaller smartphone mode. Finally, portrait mode for smartphone. So this is how pretty much it can show you that it is responsive to the layout, and your elements that are being added also respond to that particular size. Now let's take a look at backend editor. So I'm not going to save the changes. Okay, so this is my page, and as you can see, it shows me that the role related and other options, but on backend side. However, if you want to use Visual Composer for just adding the elements, then I suggest using frontend. So if you want backend, then it will show you how to add rows, text blocks, and rest of the same element that we have added in our front-end mode. Both the modes are useful, but depending on how you want to do the placement, you will find that backend mode can be really useful as well. Okay, so there is also known as classic mode, which will just show you the regular text editor. You won't see any specific options in here. So when you want that text-based editor instead of Visual Composer, click on classic editor. Okay, so what we have seen so far is how to change the setting of Visual Composer, then how to use front-end editor, and how to use back-end editor. Okay, adding the element part in both front-end and back-end remains the same. Also, you can save the template with names. That part also remains the same. Then you have full screen or current screen mode as is, and also settings. So page settings shows custom CSS option. Okay, and few more things to check. Editing mode, then you have clone mode and removing that row or element. Okay, and you can update the page and then view it. So this was a short introduction on how to install Visual Composer, then its particular configurations and settings, and front-end editor and back-end editor. So in future videos, I will cover how to design opt-in pages and landing pages for your website.